It's been a long time since I uploaded a video, and the reason I'm doing this one today is I had put my trading journal back a while back on Forest Factory, and I just left it on. I put in maybe 10, 15 days and stopped doing it. Just too much work. And went back there today just to kind of see, haven't been there in a while. Noticed there was a lot of private messages, a lot of questions, people asking me on my trading methods and what's going on. So I'm just going to briefly explain what I'm doing today. Uh, what I ended up doing basically very similar on to my first trading videos. If you go into my channel on YouTube, Trader Kareem, and you'll see the initial trading videos. I have been using the same technical method that I've been using since. The only additional thing that I added is the news squawk that I added with real-time news that will help me with the setup. And I'll go ahead and explain all of that now. This is a chart of the YM, which I no longer try to trade the YM, and I'll go ahead and explain my trades today, which is mostly Forex and ES. And it just kind of show you what I've been doing nowadays. So the previously, what I used to do is the following. Basically, I use the whole moving average, HMA 20, as give me the trend, which is, downtrend, uptrend, uptrend, down, up, relatively simple. And use a trend line after the trend has been established to enter the trade. So let's say I was trading the YM today, and this is a downtrend over here. I would put in a trend line in here, which probably be hard to catch anyway. This is just not much of a pullback, but assuming did pull that one in, and I would have been short, and I would have picked up, I don't know, 25 YM points. I don't know what that equates into ES. Then as the trend went up, I would have been trend line in here, and I would have been long, long, long. Those three would have worked out. Then again short, some again short here, short again. It depends. Now we're going up again, so at real time this looks like we're going back up. So maybe yes, maybe no, depending on the other method that I use with my trading as well. And this continues on. The challenge I had was knowing when this will persist, this will start and continue instead of doing this. Because when you do in real time, this is all you see. You can't see it here. I can't pull it. This is all you see. You see this is going up, and you put a trend line in here, and you're gonna think this is gonna break up and go up again, start moving up to the daily highs or daily open. But what I ended up doing is adding the news squawk to my trading methods. Now leave that on, and this basically tells me that there's something going on that will allow continuation of this trend, and I may be able to pull a few ticks or pips out of it to to uh, to make some money for the day. My daily goal is still the same as was 8 years ago, $200 a day. I do have a full-time job, so I only trade about an hour a day with the job, but I'm able to do this with this and the news, live news. So as you can see, this is the YM. But again, I'm not trading the YM here. So what I would trade is either the ES or the or Forex. And with that said, let me go ahead and show what I did today. So we go to the ES, and if you're going to go back to the beginning of the day, and I actually marked this chart to be able to explain it. The vertical lines in here basically indicate where the news was, and I started putting long lines then, and ended up putting just short lines in here, trend lines to show when news was coming up. Now, the key is not to really predict, not predict, not to try to figure out what the news is, and based on that, the market will go up and down, because that's still quite a challenge. The key is to hear the news and know it's significant enough to move the markets, and then have it react, then wait for a first pullback, then enter the market. And it takes a while. I mean, it takes time to get there. And but once you get there, that's the only thing you need. And that's what I've been doing for the past year and a half successfully, day in and day out. So there was some news in here at 8:45, and I put some notes on the news, but I can't really remember what they are now. Well, actually, let me go back into this one. I traded, obviously I traded the ES, traded the euro, and traded the pound. And I stopped and by the way, it was at 200, and this is, if you add this, it's about $200 a day, and that's when I stopped. And I trade small. I mean, the euro I only trade 25,000 a lot, and the same thing at 20,000 in the pound, and the ES is the ES. So so with that said, so you go to the news, and there's some news in here that moved the market, started to go down. Uh, there was really nothing here. I don't know why I have a trend line in here. There was nothing in here. But at 8:48, 8:49 is actually an announcement. Now the planned news, the announced news, which is the unemployment, the major news that it's planned at a specific time, it's even more of a challenge. And sometimes I can trade those, but a lot of times I don't. You wait for unexpected news, things that come up. Trump saying, the president of China is an idiot, or saying something just out of the ordinary, that really tend to move the market. For example, this thick line in here is the first time where the 3-year and 10-year bond were inverted. And last time we had that, I think it was 2007, 2008, and that we had a recession, major recession after that. So this is really bad news. This is really major. You could have easily just gone short in here and not worry about I will just make a wide stop because the market is going to get volatile. And it moved, and obviously that made the whole move all day. Of course, today also as well, I have to explain, today was an easier day to trade because it just, you could have shorted the market and just sat on it for a while. And it's usually not that easy. I was finished very early on, but with that said, it was a major piece of news. It was sort of a surprise. It wasn't planned. Inverted yield bond 310, which is major. We had back in December we had I think the 230 inverted, or 210, I can't remember. But this one, so I waited. I did, even with that, I waited for the pullback, which we got it in here, and that was a nice trade right here. So this one pretty much gave me my daily goal. This is the 167. Then I made a few trades with the bond and the euro as well. But let me explain the day as, just say I'm going to continue trading all day long. So, and the way I like to work the news is, I think it happens in threes. To take a line from Mac at Pets Trading, is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this happened, and this one would probably been a loss here. But no more. Usually two. I like to take the first one as the best one, obviously. Second one, and after that, third one. If I'm already made my profit, I don't take it. Or if I'm close to it, I'm patient for another move. Then it moved up again. There was another piece of news here at 9 o'clock, and that was a planned news with the, I can't remember what it was, but there was a surprise up, which flipped it long, and it was a miss. And the news was really good, because this first thing they say is 5.5, expected 5.1. It's a miss. And it was immediately, I mean, it's gonna move up. But with that said, I would have, if I didn't take this, but if I would have taken this, I would have put the trend line here and here and here, and it would have been three good trades. Then there's two dashes in here, this area, there was no news. There was nothing going on. There was some trades in here that actually might have worked for you. You know, there's another one here, there's another one here, but that's not what I do. It's just I wait for the catalyst for something to happen to say, okay, it's time to it's the market is moving now, and I'm going to take those trend line breaks. I'm not going to take them while there's nothing going on, like in here. It's just a lower risk when you do that. Now there was some news at 10:08. Trump said something. It didn't do anything. It didn't move it. There was another one here at 10:16, and I can't remember what this was, but it didn't really move the market much. It moved it a little bit up. But at 10:19, there was some, I think there was the Fed was speaking an interview. It was big enough news that that it was obviously bearish. So and that again, I had made my goal between the euro, the forex and the ES in here, so I didn't take it. But this would have been one, two. This I don't know. This maybe have been challenging to take, but it would have worked for you, and this one as well, and this one, not this one, there's nothing here, but this one, it have done good for you. So this actually moved down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, this is again, this is an easy day. Usually you get two, then it flips up again, and then get one or two, then and the market just cycles back and forth. You don't get those opportunities. So let's continue. Then we had nothing here, just no news, no news. The market was just cycling back and forth. You know, again, there is opportunities. There's nothing here you could have taken, but there's opportunities in here that that I didn't take because there was no news behind it. There was nothing behind it. So, and this continued cycling back and forth. Then at 1 o'clock, um, we had some deficit wider than expected. And I'm just having some handwritten notes in here trying to figure out what happened. It was a surprise news, and it moved it up. Then, if I had not made my goal, I would have been here, and that alone would have made my goal for the day. And that's one, two. Again, this third one, even though it didn't work out, if you would have been long here, you would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars to get out of it. That's 8 minutes that to be able to get out of that trade at break even, scratch. So uh, so that's uh, that's an easy out. Then there was nothing in here. You know, I don't listen all the time as well. I'm not completely plugged in. I leave it in the background. Then when something breaks as news, they'll just announce it over the sound squawk, and you can do it. I'm sure there was some sort of news in here, but I was doing lunch in here. I didn't worry about it. I made my goal. Then there was some news at 14, at 2:19. Conference deal with China. I have some notes here. I can't remember what it was, but this was obviously negative enough to carry the market down. Uh, yeah, you could have done here. That would have taken a lot of heat in here. Short would have been short in here. Would have been heat. Then there would have been, yeah. There's some good setups, but you can't just have to worry about that one-to-one risk stop ratio, and I go for 1 to 2 points for the ES and about 10 pips for the Forex. This was $25,000 lot size. Uh, Again, this news continued through the day, so that's that. So now let's look at the euro, for example, and see what happened with the euro when I took those trades. And the news service that I have, by the way, is for the Forex. But because everything pretty much overlaps, it can affect the ES as well in the markets. And I'm trying to find the trade I took for the euro and I can't find it. I don't think I marked it. Let's see if I had marked the pound. There was not much enough news. I mean, usually the euro and the pound, the news, you got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's what the best news coming out of Europe. What's going on here? Here's a period where there's no news. For example, the pound, and you see how it just cycles back and forth. Again, you can take those, but it's going to be very stressful trades. They're not going to. They'll take forever to move. There was some news in here. Some news that came out in Europe at 8:40. Oh yeah, it was actually said there was some news, and the announcer said over here that there's really nothing behind it. So I mean, this is an example of a trade that didn't go anywhere because it was announced. It was supposed to be on major news, but it wasn't that big. It just cycled back and forth. It wasn't really going anywhere. But I can't remember. I did take a trade, I think, in here for a few pips, maybe about 10 pips, and I can't remember what happened there. But so basically, the idea is you just wait for the news announcement, preferably a surprise news announcement. Then you wait for the pullback, and you take the trade, and you go with it all day. Again, the goal is about 200 a day, and on average, I've been getting there with the job, just trading an hour to maybe 2 hours a day. It's just I don't really say that. I keep an eye on the market all day and just keep the squawk on. But when an opportunity comes in, I just take it. And sometimes it just depends on the news. You just can't control when the news is gonna come out. Just be ready for it. So that's how I'm doing it, and I'll post some more. I'll try to post again if there's any additional questions. And good luck and thank you.